Okay, guys, welcome back. This is week two in computer apps dealing with PowerPoint. If you remember last week, one of the things that we were doing is we were creating this waterfalls classification worldwide slideshow. When I left you off, we were working on slide 3 here, which is a cataract. And one of the things that I was talking about was you have the ability by clicking on this and grabbing a corner that you can resize your pictures. Um, the other feature here that I want to make sure you're aware of is when we talk about, clicking on these boxes, you can change font color if you want to anything that's here. If I wanted to, I could highlight it. I'm not going to. You can double click there and it can go up in size, or we said we could put it right here. So anyways, just reviewing some of the material from last week. But if we look at our slideshow and we compare it to the big boy here, what's got to happen is we've got to get that fourth slide, and we need it to look like this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, we're going to go to new slide, and we're going to leave it as a content slide for right now. And then when you look at the other one, all it has is it has all 4 pictures, and it says waterfall classifications worldwide natural wonders. How do we make it look like that? Well, there's a couple of things we can do. The first is let's get those pictures. So we'll go here, and you got 2 options. You click on it, and you can go right click copy, right here, or you can go Control C. Okay, I am a big fan of Control C. Come over here, you can right click and you can go paste, or you can go Control V, which is kind of my favorite way to do that. And we'll go over here, we'll grab this one, we'll go Control C, come here, Control V, and then we'll go here, Control C, and we'll go here, Control V. Alright, so we got those 3 pictures there. Now what do we do with them, right? So if we look at our sample here, we got the cataracts up here, we got our waterfall there, and then we've got our cascade over here. So we'll just come over here, we'll size this thing up, put it along the top, we'll come over here, we'll size that one up, we'll slide her over here, move this one down, let's move it over, let's see how we compare. Okay, now first thing we got to do is we got to shrink that down a little bit. In our text here, we're just going to type waterfall classifications worldwide, right? Okay, so when we look at that, okay, we got a couple of issues here. We know obviously this font color isn't right. The font size and all that's no good. So it's Century Gothic heavy and it's 40 and it's white. So we'll just come over here and go Century Gothic. Okay, we want it to be heavy. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here. We're going to go to Century Gothic. We're here. We want it to be white. We want it to be 40. Okay, notice that dropped it there, right? So now we've just got to move it right there. There we go. I like it with worldwide there. If we compare it to what we got going on over here, we've got an underline with these. So let's highlight that. Let's hit the underline there. Okay, slide it over. Let's compare the two. We've got this little divot going on here, and though it's real easy to get rid of, you just click here. You could hit backspace. Okay, that's one way to do it. The other way is if it were further indented, you would just click right here. So you got that going on. You can take the bullets away. Any way that you want to do that, you can make that happen. So we got that going on, and then from Natural Wonders right here, it's Century Gothic 32. It's bold and it's underlined. So we'll go right here. We'll click in Natural Wonders. Now you notice that it's stuck behind this picture. Let's slide it around over here. Let's go not with a heading, but with a body, and we're going to go and make that make that blue, okay, and underlined. So the question is, is that linked to anything? So let's go into this one for a second. Let's hit slideshow from current show, and we'll take a look and we'll see if it's linked to anything. So it's not hyperlinked. They just wanted it blue. They just wanted it underlined. So just be aware of that. It's not a link to anything. So we'll go in here. We'll blow this up here for a second. All you got to do is highlight it. Okay. Let's make it blue. Okay. I like it kind of darker blue there. Let's underline it, bold it, and then we're going to move it here. Now, one of the things you'll notice is it's behind the picture. If you click on the box with the right click, you can go to bring to front. Okay. And what that'll do is it'll stack that there, which is kind of a little trick. And if I didn't want that like that, I could always send it to the back. Okay. But bringing it to the front, that's kind of a cool feature to be able to use. But this thing still doesn't look like this one. Okay, so what are some of the issues we got going on here? Well, with this one, first of all, let's stretch this out. Okay, not a fan of distorting pictures, but we're going to do it here. This one we're going to bring up here. Okay, slide, stretch. Okay, this one here. Okay, we're going to bring right over in here. Alright, I think it's probably the right size. We'll take this, we'll bring this up here like so, and then we'll click on this one and we'll drag this over and up. Okay, and now we got it looking pretty darn close to what's going on there. So the next thing I want to do is I want to show you this slideshow here, and this is our good one here, right? And if we run this from the beginning, you'll notice that this falls down from the top, and I click and it falls down again. I can click again, falls down, okay, just like a waterfall would, right? Okay, and we're there. Now the question is, how do we make it do that? Really, really simple. Okay, so we're going to go back to ours, all right, and we're going to put in what's called a transition. So right here we click on the slide we want the transition for. Go to transitions. Okay, which one do we want? Do you want it to reveal? Do you want it to uncover? Okay, how do we want this thing to go? We're going to use drape. Okay, drape's going to make it roll down just like if it were a waterfall. Now, you can play with duration. Okay, so instead of it being 2 seconds long, let's make it 5, right? And that's going to make it look a lot longer. So let's go preview. And it takes much longer for it to fall. Now, we are going to go on slide 2, 3, and 4. We want them to do the same thing. So I click on 2, I hold the shift key, and then I'm going to click on 4. And that's going to highlight all of those. And then I'm going to go right here, go down to drape, and that's going to drape all of those. So now all of them have that same transition. If I go to slideshow now and I go from current, okay, we know that this one we programmed to be a little longer, so it falls like that, right? And I click the next one, much quicker, okay? Click the next one, much quicker. Click the next one, same deal, right? Nice and quick. Again, I remind you, there are different effects that you can put on pictures. In this case, when we look at the format of this picture here, okay, you can give it a shadow, and you can change its borders. And don't forget, there are other things here at play that we can do. So now we're going to go past our template one, okay, that we're using here, right? In fact, I'm going to get rid of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a few more bells and whistles to this bad boy as we go here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on slide 1 here, all right? And what we're going to do is we are going to highlight this entire title. And we're going to go to animations, and we're going to have it fly in, okay? So now it flies in like that. And we then want my name or your name to float in or fly in. After that, you'll notice that what PowerPoint did is it gave it a 1 and a 2 for animation. You can change if it's on a click, or in this case, let's say I want, so let me show you what the difference here. When we go with click, okay, it comes in, pictures there, but nothing else. So I got to click, then I got to click again. Okay. Let's say we don't want that to happen. Let's say what we want is we want my name to come in after worldwide shows up. So we can go right here, and instead of click, we can go after previous. Okay. And then we can just go slideshow from the current show. Okay. So again, it's going to drape down. It's got the picture. I'm going to click one time this time. It shows up, and then my name automatically shows up after that. So that's one way that you can play with animations there. You also could do the same thing with this picture. Okay, this picture we could give an animation. We could make it, I don't know, wheel in, right? Okay, so now when we look at that, we see 1 and 2. Well, let's say I don't like this order. Let's say I still want that picture to show up before this. So let's go, animation order. I go right here and I just hit move earlier. Okay, it is now 1. Okay, then these happen. Okay, and in this case, I don't want it to be on the click. I want it to be with the previous. Okay, so what that's going to do is now it's going to show up as it funnels down here. Boom, automatically. Now I'm going to click one time because that's what we told it to do, and then my name automatically shows up. So that's your bells and whistles for this week. Guys, this project is done. Do me a favor, save it, and then turn this thing into me. That way we can get something in the grade book for you. Guys, I hope everything's going well. Next week I'll get into some more bells and whistles on PowerPoint with you, and we'll really make some cool shows happen. Stay safe, stay healthy, and more importantly, well, that is the most important thing, but as far as your schoolwork is concerned, if you need anything, please let me know. All right, have a good one, guys.